everyone, welcome to Stand-Up Analysis. I am here with Colby. We're going to be going over a set of his from the last laughter party. Colby, anything to share about this set or this audience before we sort of dive into the review?
Yeah, my first time doing this material, so it's pretty interesting. I think for me to watch this because I think as far as first time doing material sets go, this one went pretty well. And I kind of want to unpack like the performance aspect of it, and yeah, that's it.
Great. So let's dive right in.
And keep it going for our final comedian of the night. Give it up for Colby!
Hello. Ooh, how are we feeling now?
Okay, great. How do we feel about our intro moment?
I feel great. Also, if you hear a parrot in my mic, there's a parrot next to me. Friend staying with me.
Sure. And the friend is the parrot.
The friend is a bird. His name's Kiwi. Yeah, no, I feel pretty good about that entrance. I think your party analogy logic works well there. I'm interacting with the crowd. I feel pretty good about that.
Yeah, even the mic off moment, we save it in such a nonchalant, like, oh hey, I know how to do this. I'm cool and calm sort of way. It's like no points off. If anything, like we got even extra points that moment happened. So like everything was great. Well, we're training the audience in the good way. Like, how we feeling? Oh yeah, hell yeah, let's do. Oh, my mic's not off. Oh hell yeah, I'm vibing. Like I'm here. Love it. I think it puts us in a great striking position right off the bat.
So,
see, the audience is even laughing at random times, and we have I am hearing terrible echo.
Oh, really?
At the moment. Now I'm testing. Okay, now I'm good. Yeah, even this moment, like the audience is laughing at random just like things, and then we're reacting to it. We're just getting like free laughs out of nowhere. People are just like depositing money in our bank account without any work done. So like, yeah, it's great. It's great. Yeah. So like here,
we're feeling now. So
oh, someone said horny to how you feeling now, and someone's laughing at the audience saying horny. But still, the audience is feeling empowered enough to talk out. And everything's just vibing, so still good, and we react to it, so we're not steamrolling them.
You and me both. So I've got a question for you guys. Can I ask you guys a question? What?
See, the audience is even comfortable enough with us to play with us. Can I ask you a question? No, like yo, you sassy audience. But they feel comfortable, which I think is a good sign. We have to now deal with it, which is a challenges us on the stand-up, but it's a good place for them to be, I think. Yeah, even just that deals with it. Free laugh. The audience is giving us material to laugh at. We don't even need to have anything written. Great.
I just met you. Is that AJ's mom? Who said that?
Love that about someone who would normally be considered a wholesome present, someone's mom, and like with that.
Dude, I could have sworn for a second. I looked and all I could see from the lights was AJ's mom, and I was like, "There's no fucking way." I found out it was Susie. It was Susie behind her.
Yeah. I love that idea. Like, who fucking is that? The same person that was horny? You don't let me ask you a question, Mr. Horny? Yeah. We could have. Once again, it's easy to do that sitting in our chair. But yeah. Great.
So I okay, have any of you guys ever been on fire? Yeah. Yes? Wait. Not. Who set you on fire? You did it? An intellectual.
Okay, so how do we feel about that moment?
A little fumbly.
Yeah.
But by and large, it's a conversation.
Yeah, we saved it in the end. The one trap we fell into when we're doing crowd work is we started asking them a bunch of questions instead of having our own takes, and that is sort of like leaving it up to chance. Ideally, it's like, hey, how do you guys feel about something? Now I'm gonna say statements. Now I'm gonna be charisma monster. Now I'm instead of like someone did set you on fire. When did they do that? How did they do that? Like that could be really dangerous. So that's why it was fumbly up until we're like, oh, an intellectual, until we weighed in, resolved it, and had a clear point of view. So that's the trap that for a second. Once again, it was good in this case, but that's the thing to watch out for in the future if you find yourself in a similar situation that made it feel fumbly.
Yeah.
Because the audience is like, he doesn't know what's going on. What is going on? Is everything going to be okay in the end? Like, the audience needs to feel like...
That's such a tricky thing to, like, practice, I feel like. Because it's already hard enough to, like, avoid asking questions when you're doing, like, improv. It's like, it's often, like, a trap. Like, asking questions. Like, a general rule of thumb. Unless there's exceptions. But, like, and, like, here it's like a similar kind of thing where it's like, yeah, I can totally see that, how that's a problem, but like it is right there, and I'm like, oof, learning to practice that and avoiding that while like getting to work on craft work is gonna be a tough thing to keep up here, you know?
Sure. Especially because it is something big. Like, someone said yes to set on fire. Guess they're lit. Like, it's more if we made statements then and then.
Yeah, it's like you have to find a statement now to react to a thing. Like, oh.
Yeah. Once again, we deal with it with an intellectual. We found it. We resolved it all. But that's why it felt fumbly in the middle.
Definitely am horny now. So that's fucking wild. I'm sorry. I'm recoiling from that. So I usually ask that, and I'm glad that most of you guys were quiet. Because thank God, right? And I'm glad you're still with us. The few of you. I did this bit at an ICU, standing ovation. Guys, obviously I'm joking. They can't stand. Oh!
Okay, how do we feel about? Oh, let's watch this final reaction before we.
Boy, you ready for this? So.
Okay, so how do we feel about the whole ICU joke?
I feel. I think it's interesting because I'm like, okay. The way I was like I was like, oh, this audience is super giggly, so I'm just going to give them the pause to. But on the other hand, I also feel like it could have been snappier, and I think that could have just been like let me just like keep talking and use my intonation to be like, I'm getting somewhere. Here's a punchline, but at the same time, I don't want to throw away laughs. But I think really what's so fumbly about it is probably not even that. It's probably just that I'm like stuttering through it a lot and like I don't know.
Oh, I think it's a look. It's a dangerous bit because in a little bit it's punching down. I think what saves us is that we laugh our way out of it. So like here, watch.
I did this bit at an ICU, standing ovation.
So part of the audience went, oh, like 2-3 people you can hear, and then.
Guys, obviously I'm joking.
And then they get a laugh for making it okay, great. Wait, I don't hate the double down if we're gonna go there to begin with.
They can't stand.
And there's still some alls on the right side, but then we're laughing at it. It's like I'm clearly joking. I'm being silly. Please give me your rapport. I'm not malicious. Yeah, someone went, oh.
Oh boy, you ready for this?
And I do think that oh boy, you ready for this? Might palate cleanse it enough. But I think we just need more safety valves, or to, ironically, triple, quadruple down even more, one way or the other.
That's true. Yeah, I think you're right. That could be a way to, ironically, to triple down on it. But,
yeah, or it's like, oh, you're groaning. I see you. Oh,
have
like,
another.
You know, like these are stupid jokes.
Yeah.
But just because whatever you get it. Once again, it's fine a laughter party, but we're ironically we are playing with fire with those jokes. Are these jokes? Am I playing with fire? You could even
It's also like I was really afraid of this joke doing it because I'm starting my my set with it.
That as well, yes. We haven't
which
built.
is really
I do feel if we had built up enough rapport, it gets easier to get away with it. But yeah, right up top, the audience is more likely to be, who is this person? Is this 100% who they are? Uh-oh!
Yeah.
Once again, we've laughed our way out of it. We haven't been like, so I think we're
So, on that note, do you guys know what to do if you're ever on fire? Okay, fuck all of that. Because don't you think that stop is implied? If I could be doing the first thing I'm going to do once I find out I'm on fire is stop whatever it is. I don't care what it is. Okay, I know this might sound backwards, but follow me. If I was taking a shower, you would think you're the most fire resistant you could ever be, right? I would still stop to address the fire before I move on to conditioner.
Okay, how do you feel about the fire logic so far?
I think the logic of it is like it's working. Just the execution is sloppy.
Yeah,
That's a repetition thing.
Yeah, so this is one of the jokes where the writing is like really holding it up. Some of the performance is as well. You're giving ample pauses where pauses are due when you drop a big logical phrase and you let it hit. So our cadence is very well performatively. We're stumbling a little bit with like that's the most fireproof you've ever been. So some of the performances aren't that strong, but as far as the acting and the pitching of the lines, very good. The writing, very good. The dialogue with the audience is kind of tanked, but I think the logic is strong enough and wild enough that maybe for this bit we can lean off on needing to play with the audience because it is such like a wild idea and we get you. Yeah.
I do feel like I generally once I'm like going through material, because I'm like doing this all, I feel like I fall into the trap. We'll see if we can find one point out where like to critique it, where like I think I've completely abandoned talking to the audience.
Sure.
And it feels weird because I started out interaction.
But also because we started out so much interacting with the audience and social vibe, I think we do get a little bit of Halo permission to not have to go so hard, which also might be why that we can sort of like not need to do it as much through this logical bit.
Interesting.
The audience already sort of feels like, oh, this was a dialogue. This is our good friend. Okay, let's let him go out. Let's let him cook for a second. Versus if we'd come out of the gate with this without any, then the audience might be like, oh, this is about him talking. I'm going to lean back. I don't know. These are my hypotheses.
Let's see how the rest of it plays out.
Yeah.
Like, even like let's say I wasn't on fire. Let's say I was just practicing for the big day.
The big day. He's been there. You've been there. Some of you have been there.
Yeah.
Oh, that laughing is enough of playing with and being in the moment. That alone equates to playing with the audience. As an audience mind, I don't know exactly what you mean by it, but I do feel like you're in the moment with us. So like it does bias that.
I would have to stop before I did any. You can't do anything while dropping and rolling. You have to stop. I can't even hold a conversation while I'm dropped and rolling. This might not seem obvious to you, but this is a little inconvenient for me. Thank you. Now that we're on the same page.
Great. How do we feel about that big act out?
Act out, I think is okay. I've been struggling with it because I'm like I don't know how to punch it up. It feels like it's not. The physicality is like not that funny, but it gets an applause break. But I'm like, well, really, I want the act out to be. I don't know what to do.
Yeah, so the once again the logic is a really clever idea that the audience can get. So it gets a pause break. If we want the act out to feel like it is additive instead of just like here, let me just like real fast show you what I'm talking about, it needs to evolve in some way as well. So it's like a slow roll turns into a fast roll, turns into rolling like feet overhead to like it needs to evolve in some way, and then it will feel funny because it is right now our rolling is sort of like lateral. I'm doing it, but really what's evolving is me saying that this is inconvenient. The lateral thing, once I see it, I understand it and it doesn't change at all.
I see.
So
It has to come with us through the conversation.
Yeah. As from chat, as an audience member, I was scared
Really?
for you, so I couldn't laugh carefree. Is a good point. If the audience in their mind has tension about like, oh God, is he gonna and I'd be like, guys, I'm fine. I practiced. Like we might need to even resolve the physical danger element, because yeah, if the audience physically feels danger for us, then that'll shut down laughs too while the rolling is happening. That's a good call out.
Okay. Good
Call
point.
out,
Who said that in chat?
that was Conan.
Cheers.
Great. Here, let's keep going.
You're right, I didn't stop. It wouldn't that have been funnier if I had stopped before I finished my joke? So like, all right. So we're all okay. So we can all agree that this can be reduced, right? So instead of stop, drop, and roll, it should just be. Absolutely not. Drop is also implied. Do you think I could have done any of that without dropping first? What am I, a fucking acrobat? Nonetheless, on fire, I wish. I wouldn't be a nightclub comic if I could do that shit.
Thanks. How do I feel about that?
I think I should have. I mean, yeah, naturally, just mumbling over words, I think is still, but and that like persists through it. But aside from that, I think I should have paused because I felt the tension watching, right, where I could have if I had gotten there faster too. If I was like, I can't do. Do you think I could have done any of that without dropping first and just pause and look at people and like try to let their imagination do the work a little? Because I think honestly, I probably could have gotten away with a lot there, especially with this song.
Sure. Yeah. I can agree with that. But once again, I do think the fun, big, simple logic of what we're getting at, and something that everyone knows. So we don't need to teach anyone stop, drop, and roll. We don't need to teach anyone what being on fire is bad. So I think our logic is taking us a long way, as well as like the performative and enough of the beginning of that feeling of dialogue. Like, so what should it be? Drop and roll. No, it feels like it is a direct response. So the audience feels like, oh, I am part of this. And we get to do these big sort of like feelings and logics that hold us. They're like, I'm digging it. It could definitely be streamlined, but I still think, honestly, great job. All things considered.
Thank you.
Yeah, just great job.
Cheers.
No,
I mean, this is as I watched 3 seconds of you just like, what is this? wait. Great job. What?
No,
What? I think maybe that went too well, and you're like, what? Oh shit! Oh god, yeah.
You know what it is? I always get a transition. I know that transitions are kind of bullshit, and I should just be like, all right, fuck it. I'm just going to say the premise of the next thing and go into it. I shouldn't be afraid to do that. But for whatever reason, in the moment, I am terrified. Even when I do like open mics, I am terrified of going from one idea to a disparate idea. Sure. So I'm like, here I am to think of a transition on the spot. I think I had written one, but it was not there.
Sure. Okay, let's see what this next thing is. But yeah, we're watching you like buffering right now.
Yeah.
Anyways, fucking transition.
I do like saying that, considering how the audience just saw that buffering moment. I do like that as like, oh god, I have to make this okay. Okay, I like that. It's a good instinct there.
I hate that what follows.
Oh, okay. Okay. Wait, the whole set or just immediately?
No, immediately the audience gives me an applause break, and I'm like, "Fuck you guys
Oh, okay. Okay.
for
That works.
buffering."
I don't know. Hey, man. Jeremy's Costa Rican, whatever. So,
Yeah, we could have fueled that. We could have.
Yeah, I didn't know how to react to it. I
Yeah.
was just like overwhelmed. I was like, "What?"
Sure. Yeah. Because we do start to look like, stop. And so the Colbys don't hit the peak that they would have.
Yeah.
Yeah. What could have been funny here is if you responded with AJ. Yeah. So for those who weren't at the show, the audience was chanted AJ a few times for AJ. They also chanted a few other audience members' name, but AJ the most. And AJ was like, I think two before you. I think Susie was right before you. AJ was before her. Yeah, it would have been funny if you had been like AJ.
Would've been, yeah.
And you could have played a game of there of chanting everyone else's name. And even could have been like Colby, Susie, Colby. Yeah. That's a good call out, chat. That would have been a great joke. But once again, easy to do after the fact.
I feel like I love this. Not people. I mean, I love people chanting my name, but I love comedy, and I'm so happy that you guys are all here because I really love doing this. I feel like if I had a different job, people might not be as happy to see me. Like if
proctologist, blah blah blah, job that people don't happy to see you. Tax accountant. Like we could have played that game with that concept, but we are digging super deep into like honesty.
I think I'm introducing a lot of ideas. I like this. If I had a different job, people would not be happy to see me. I think these are almost two different ideas.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm doing too much premise work here. Doesn't need to be get done.
Yeah. I agree.
If you have a guy that helps you with a specific thing,
that's also a premise.
The thing is not good. Like if you've got a heart doctor that you're on a first name basis with, but if they invite you to your birthday party, you should go because next year you might not get invited. Or like if you've got a
okay, yeah. So the joke there is that like next year you might not be able to go. You might not be. The implication is that you're gonna die. But we're saying you're not going to be invited. It's sort of in my audience mind. I'm like, oh, you're not going to be. There's going to be an option that you won't go. Versus like, you better go this year because next year not going to be an option. More of like implying the death versus the not receiving of an invitation. It's not 100% unclear, but I think
a little murky.
Wording leaves room for that in the mind. Also, kind of dark to the audience. Like, oh, I'm going to die. Oh, is this theoretical? Is why. Yeah.
Well. It's interesting. They didn't react to the. They didn't love. They were like, there were a lot of people who were apprehensive. The first dark joke I made.
Yeah.
So when I went back to it, I was like, oh, I met with the same. That tracks actually.
Something from chat that might be a cheeky way to get away with it is like, if you get invited to the birthday, you might want to go because next year isn't promised. Like a cheeky, like next, like a sly way to saying. I like that chat.
Isn't promised is really good.
Yeah. As like a,
funeral director in your contacts list. Yikes, man! It's not going rough for you, right? I know. Like.
So we said two things. One, funeral director in your contacts list is like if I've done one funeral, I could have a funeral director in my contacts list. I think the original version was on speed dial.
Yeah. Well, no. What was it? You have a doctor that you're on a first name basis with, or funeral director in your contacts list, or a sex worker in your T-Mobile Fave 5.
But I do think having like a funeral director in your contact list, like I bet a lot of people who have had to do one funeral have a funeral, so like it doesn't land, and then we also
that makes more sense,
yeah, minor flub on this list here.
Yikes, man! It's not going rough for you, right?
It's not going rough for you. And it's like, it's not going rough. It is going rough for you. It's not going well for you. It's not going rough for me, so it is going well for me. Once again, I think that's why that iteration, those two things combined, don't hit.
Like, if you've also, like, or if you've got, like, a sex worker in your T-Mobile Fave 5, the thing is a problem, is what I'm getting at.
So yeah, so I think the audience like isn't feeling this because of the things we talked about in the first 2 rings. I also don't think that they get that you have a T-Fave 5 or whatever, that you're implying that this is my situation. We almost need like a if you have a sex worker in your T-Fave 5, that's what phone this is. Like, I think we might need to spell it out for them. But I don't but I do like the idea about like Colby feels this isn't working, so he's like, I'm trying to tell you it's not good. I'm trying to give you the baseline punchline that you need from this section so you can get the next section because I can feel that this section isn't working. So I like that we press that button, but I think that's why we need to press that button, all those things that we just talked about. Your thoughts?
No, I agree with all of that 100%. There's a bunch of like wording things I think I could do. I think I could rewrite a little bit of it to be more graspable. Yeah. I think like I also like this is just a formative thing that I fuck up where I say instead of saying the thing is a problem rather than saying the thing is not good, as I said it the first time. I think those things keep the same.
Oh sure, yes. If you kept it, the parallel,
yeah. I think also, but if I do change it, it's like a writing thing. If I change it to the thing is a problem, or you have a problem, like I've got a cocaine guy that we have bi-weekly Google Calendar meetings with my weed guy, whatever. I have a problem. Hooker in or sex worker in my T-Mobile Fave 5. I have a problem, and there might be a way to do that.
Oh, if you can pimp the audience and to be like, if I blah blah blah, you have a problem. If blah blah blah, you have a problem. If blah blah blah, you have a problem. If you're sitting in the front row and the audience and the comedian points to you, you have a problem. Blah blah blah. We can make this a playful bit with like the you have a problem, and then probably use it. It's so.
If that's your third beer of the night, you have a problem.
You have a problem because you're gonna get a fourth, mister, on me.
So my problem is I know my building's elevator mechanic. Yeah, I get this a lot. My building has an elevator. I live on the 14th floor. It's a tenement building. I don't know if you've ever been in a tenement building. They stuff people in them a mile high. It's an ass elevator. Anyway, my elevator's.
Okay, how do you feel about that?
Terrible. I could have maybe not saved it, but I could have gotten away with it if I had previously not fumbled that the thing is not good. I was like, I don't know if you know anything about tenement buildings. The thing is not good.
Oh yeah, if you live in a tenement building, you have a problem. Yeah,
you have a problem. Yeah, I think that would have been like the optimal out.
Yeah.
I did this just like kind of like in a moment because I noticed a lot of like feedback I was getting leading up to this was people were hung up on the idea that I have an elevator. Most people live in walk-ups. They live in the city. And so they just assumed, like, what is this guy doing complaining about their elevator? Yeah.
You could, I mean, like, maybe a button that we have later is like, you have an elevator? It never works, so no, I don't. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
Yeah.
It's like, I have a 14th floor walk-up.
Yeah. I heard an audience member react to me saying that I have an elevator, and I was like, all right, I guess I have to test this now.
Yeah.
So
but I just didn't know how to do it.
Fucking slow.
Okay, I love the smile.
You guys are intellectuals.
I love that. Oh, and I love the calling back the intellectual because we said the intellectual thing earlier about the person on fire or whatever. Love those moves. Love those moves.
My elevator's so slow, I had a girl over and she took a pregnancy test in my apartment. We took the elevator downstairs and we made it just in time for the graduation. Oh!
Love this heightening up. Love this additional thing. This thing that we wouldn't write in, but is fun. It's fun, and it sort of like gets the audience like, okay, we're playing, yeah.
My elevator's so ass. You need a commercial driver's license to operate that dump truck. My elevator. Let me tell you about my elevator. My elevator's So slow. It got left back in the 3rd grade. Oh, fuck. But you know what's really fucked is I was telling.
Oh yeah, I don't like that we went back to slow, so the audience always like back to slow again, and then it's sort of like the worst one of the 3, and then we also de-heightened the whoa. It's like in all aspects, the joke was coming down, like on the written line, on the strength of it, and performatively.
Yeah.
We sort of like murdered that joke. It was going so well. It was going so well. I almost would have rather we just stopped after 2 rounds.
Yeah, I agree.
Cause if we stopped after 2 rungs at any other time, you could have gone and it would have been a fun game. Now if you try to call that back, the audience would be like, oh yeah, that kind of ended poopy.
Exactly.
That's not the funnest for us.
Yeah.
Will was like, "What are you going to talk about at Laughter Party?" And I was like, bitch about my elevator for 5 minutes. And he goes, well, worst case scenario, if you had like a critical failure on your elevator, you wouldn't actually fall and crash and die. You would get jettisoned up into the ceiling and crash and die. And what pisses me off about how he said it was that he prefaced it by going, "You know, Colby, fun fact about elevators." Fuck you, Will. There's nothing fun about that fact about elevators. Thank you, guys. I'm Colby Blangiardo.
Okay, your thoughts on that final joke and your exit roll.
I think the exit roll is stupid because it wasn't related to anything, so it wasn't funny.
I don't hate it. I don't hate it, to be honest. I don't hate it as long as like.
I think it's. I mean, it's dumb and that tickles me, but I don't know. It didn't get like I didn't hear any laughs, so in the moment it was bad. But yeah, I mean, could have totally like tightened that up and just streamlined the wording and everything.
Sure. Yeah, we forgot the point that it's like there's a counterweight, so you would be jettisoned up to the ceiling. So the audience is like, why would I be jettisoned up? Is it because it's falling and it's so fast that I'm up against the ceiling?
I think because of the way I said it, it became really just where I guess in the sense where you're going with this and telling me because I'm like, you wouldn't fall if there's a critical failure, you wouldn't fall down and crash and die. And it's like, okay, now he's clearly going to say another da 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 and die.
Oh yeah. You
because the way I delivered it,
go up and crash and die and have the parallelism between the effect.
Yeah, if I made it like, you would due to counterweights, you wouldn't actually fall down, crash. You would actually get jettisoned up and crash and die, and like, or just end crash. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Also, if it's like any other stand-up show or like you're referencing something the audience doesn't know as well, like fun fact, but like I didn't feel like that was a very good William Keane impression, and I don't think the audience felt it. So like if you're really gonna go there, like maybe you could have.
I wasn't trying to do an impression of it. I was trying to relay how the information felt.
Sure.
It was medicine.
Yeah. Also from chat, it's a huge new fact about being flung up. So like they were distracted about thinking about that. So like maybe it needs more bow tying around it. Like there's a counterweight, you get flung up and crash and die. Isn't that cool, everyone? Isn't that a cool fun fact? No, and that's what pissed me off. He said fun fact. No, it's not a fun fact.
Yeah, isn't that cool? Not for me. I live in this building. And what really pissed me off that Will tells me that and he goes, "No, Colby. Fun fact,
Yeah. Okay. So, having now watched the full set, if you were gonna do this set again, what would you do again? What would you not do? What sort of like overarching things to tie up a bow around? Us watching this now.
I really like the stop, drop, and roll concept, and I definitely do want to play with that more. I think it's a strong idea. So I definitely want to do that again and tighten it up. I feel like it's really, and the elevator stuff, like all of it, maybe I'll do it again. I don't know. I don't feel so good. I'm not like I don't know. I should stick with it. I should stick with it rather than being afraid of my material and moving on
Sure.
to just searching for other passions. But I do have more ideas that I want to milk.
Yeah. Once we So I say the same. Yeah, we did a great job within the logic holes with the stop, drop, and roll bit enough that that I think that's great. There's a huge margin of error that we can still absolutely kill with that bit just because of how tight it is and how well we're leaving that hole about like stop, drop, no, with the sort of like built-in audience performative responses. For the elevator bit, I think some of the things are pretty dense, and we just currently our word economy just doesn't spin them in the right way of like if you have a person for something, it's a bad thing. I think the elevator elevator so slow that really worked. We just needed a different third one, and we could still play but we could also take that game and throw it anywhere without devoid of the elevator if you wanted to.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of these concepts, I'm like I could map them to other topics. And
sure.
Like the things that I feel like are really salvageable about this are like not married.
Oh, or not at the elevator-based thing. Yeah. I could
it's like a so da da da, or that's like one thing on anything, or like
if
you have a person for a specific thing.
Yep.
Is like a dense topic, but if I want to salvage that, like the joke logic there and streamline it, I think I can. I might as well just do it with something else.
Sure. Yeah, you could do all the fun bits without the elevator. Which, if we feel like the elevator is slowing us down, I liked it. But the next time, just do an 8-minute impression of William. Yeah, that'll kill on socials. Everyone will know. Everyone will know who I am. There's something funny about your elevator being so slow that you travel up faster in it when the rope cuts going down. True. Facts. Great. Hey, if you're still watching at this point, give us a like, give us a subscribe, hit that noti bell. If you want either of our socials for more comedy, those will be in the descriptions, and probably more videos will be appearing right now with more stand-up analysis, maybe even with a Colby. Colby, any words of parting to say?
No, I got nothing. Thanks for watching.
Okay.